Hello, beloved. I thank you so much for your time and I thank you for joining me on the Prophetic Vessel Show. This will be your message from God, Ra, Allah, Source, the Divine. I'm grateful for your time. To those who are keen or interested in becoming members of my Patreon, on my Patreon, I do offer weekly sign readings for $10 per month based on love as well as spiritual paths. I also offer on my Patreon personal readings. For $50 per month, you get a personal reading from me every month based on love, spiritual path, career and finances, as well as ancestral messages. The link to my Patreon will be listed in my description box below. You can also join my Patreon by typing what is on the screen via Google, search it, and it'll lead you to my Patreon website. Without further ado, let us tap in and find out why were you spiritually led here? What is here for you, beloved? Why did you resonate with the title? And why did your own YouTube algorithm present you with this message? Let us tap in and talk to God, okay? Oh, okay. Interesting here. We have the Tower, all right? We do have Scorpio energy with the Tower here. We have the Star, okay? We have Aquarius energy with the Star. And we have Judgment, double Scorpio energy with Judgment here. So I do see here, beloved, that there's an energy of a person here who found it easy in the beginning to steal from you, whether they're stealing something that has to do with your craft, your creativity, entrepreneurship, or even 9 to 5, something within that regard, or they were stealing with regards to your thought process and how you approach life in terms of ideologies and identifying people, places, and things within your own mind, or just how you feel about life itself, right? Like basically here, this is an energy of a person who was mimicking your identity, and in the beginning, they found it to be extremely easy for them because this is what they do in general. They take from others and reference what they take as their own instead of acknowledging that it's not their own, it's something they've learned from so and so, or from this and that and the third, right? But in specific with you, it's like you were more so looked at as a case study, right? This person would dissect your identity to fit this mimic energy that they were standing in for so long, until it wasn't what it used to be. And what I mean by that is you evolved, right? You elevated, and you are now at a point in your life where being you, being like you, is a one of one thing. There is only one person that can be you, which is you. There is only one person that can be like you, which is you. And that has made it extremely difficult for this person to keep up this facade of mimicking you, all right, in their own world, in their own reality, and in their own life. Literally, because this person, when they encountered you, however way this happened, right, they discovered you, and however way that they did that as well, or however way that went about, it put this person in a predicament to be like, oh my God, I can I can it's like they looked at you as some form of bank of energy where they can derive all these things of life from you and then attach it to them and utilize it in their own world, life, and reality. And at the same time, this person hates you. Like, this person has deep hatred towards you, but in all of the same breath, within the same context, they're doing this, or they've been doing this. But with the tower being here, it has been illuminated to this person whereby they've been struck with some revelation that has put them in a state of being of feeling like a loser. Because judgment, the star to the tower, that's an energy of this person feeling put in their place by the way in which things have begun to go. Like, this person literally feels like a loser. Like, you know, imagine an individual trying to be another person or be like another person, and then the hypocrisy of the fact that they hate that same person. I mean, it's really weird and strange. Like, some people really ain't right. You know what I mean? Like, this person can't stand you, anything about you, but you are the exact replica of who they would like to be. Like, make that make sense. But you are so far gone within your ascension, right? Based on your evolution and elevation, that there is nothing of you that this person can take and make their own. It's impossible for them. That's how it's become. That's how things have become here, okay? We have the Knight of Swords. We have Gemini energy, double Aquarius energy. We have Libra energy here. This person is experiencing some form of a battle within their own mind, their own heart, their own spirit, even their own body. Because think about it, someone attaching themselves to another person's identity for so long that they've become like familiar with themselves through another person's identity. Though it's like, I am me, but like, I am me because that person is them, right? Because if they dress this way, or they move like this, or they you know, whatever it is that has to do with them, I associate it with my own identity. I start to lose sense of reality, right? It's like, it's easy to lose yourself in anything in life. It's like anyone can tap into something of life, and because they're doing it in an unhealthy way or in a low vibrational way, it can consume them to the point of no return. Why do you think people get into relationships and it's so unhealthy and low vibrational, but they still stay? There are so many contributing factors to as to why they would stay, but the main common denominator is that they've lost themselves within that connection, within that person. They don't see themselves outside of that. That's all they know. So same thing that's happening with this person. Those were just analogies, reference points, case studies, and examples, right? But coming back to the generalization of this message, you're definitely dealing with somebody here who tried to be a doppelganger, okay? Somebody tried to walk in your shoes, literally here. It's gonna, if you were to watch this person's life like a play-by-play, you would feel so cringe and weirded out, and like this strange, peculiar, odd, like energy of being that you would experience just by looking at the way in which they're literally mimicking you, but in their own reality, in their own life. Like, it's so like, Yeah, and this person has been dedicated towards this, right? It's something that they've taken really seriously. They've done so with precision, and they've literally looked at it as some form of skill and talent to be able to do this, like mimicking you. That's how they're looking at it now. That's what they've established it to be. They're looking at it as some form of like a power tool or this strategic, like they just, someone's just, it's in their head, all right? It's all in their head. We have the Eight of Pentacles. This is Virgo energy here. This person has literally convinced themselves, programmed themselves, and it's like they've begun to believe their own illusion. It's because I stated earlier within that analogy, that reference point, that case study, that example of a person who can lose themselves in anything. You know, we as people, it can happen to anyone. It can happen to me. It can happen to you. You can lose yourself in something, someone, you know, it just is what it is. It's the game of life. And then coming out of that, you would have to let that version of yourself, that loss of self, you would have to redeem that identity of, okay, who am I outside of this, right? In this instance, this person does, it has gotten to that extent, that point where they've begun to not know who they are outside of you. If you don't say this, you don't act like this, you don't do this, they don't as well. But if you do that, you act like this, you say that, they will as well. And what is that? That's like mimicking, right? And if it is in an in-depth way, how it affects that person's mental, emotional, spiritual, physical being. I mean, that's nothing to take for. It's like, some things are truly like strange. Like, this is weird. Like, it's odd, it's peculiar, because this person here is literally, has literally lost themselves in your identity. They don't know who they are outside of you because they've put in so much work into this. It's become them to always refer to you for their own sense of self, knowing. Oh, crazy. Because now, with all that being said, you are no longer in a vibration or frequency or wavelength of accessibility, meaning that anyone can experience you, right? But not have anything within their free will or their own capacity and capability. They won't be able to be like you or be you, because you've ascended and evolved and elevated past that threshold where it's like, oh, I can be this person, I can be like this person. It's impossible to be you. At this point in your life, that's where you are. That's where you are headed even further. It's going to be quite a journey, right? Especially for this person, because they're in shock right now. Like, this person is in shock. They're experiencing this revelation, this awakening, and it has put them in this shock. They're unable to process what is happening. It just has them so distorted heavily here. We have the Page of Swords. We have double Gemini energy, triple Aquarius energy. We have double Libra energy here. We have the Knight of Cups. We have triple Scorpio energy. We have Pisces energy. We have Cancer energy as well. It's crazy to think that someone in this state of being simultaneously side by side, they hate you and they doing all of this. Like, the reason for the hate is irrelevant because who cares anyway, but it's just so, this is like extremely weird. Like I just keep channeling that. It's strange, man. It's odd, it's peculiar because how is that even, how does that even work in that person's mind, within their own emotions and heart, within their own spirit and body? How do they go about it? Like, it must be so hard trying to be like someone you hate or be someone you hate. And the one true root cause of the hate, regardless of it not being something that matters, but you need to understand, right? They hate you because they're not you. It's that simple, beloved. There is no ring a ring a rosy. It is what it is. They hate you because they are not you. Don't forget, this is a doppelganger energy. You're the utmost replica of an individual that they aspire to be. People live life trying to be this, trying to do that, trying to have this. And if they picture somebody seeing a person who is a constant mirror of who they actually want to be within their own reality, their own and their life, their world and their life. It's like we have the Ten of Pentacles here. Everything about you, this person studies, okay? But right now, there is no way to figure you out. Moving forward, this person will have to, like, they'll be forced to stop doing all of this because they won't be able to do all of this anymore. It's like you're too evolved, too elevated. You know, you've ascended to a vibration, a wavelength, a frequency that is unattainable. You know, it's yours and yours alone. It's your signature of self-identity, and no one can mimic that. So this person, now they have to find themselves once again. They don't know who they are because they've associated their whole entire self-knowing with your identity. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. To them, because for them to have been able to just lose themselves in your identity like this, it's symbolic to the truth of who they really are, which is somebody that lacks self-knowing. You know, they don't know who they are, simply put. Anyone that is intact, they're in their body, they're in their mind, they're in their heart, they're in their spirit. They don't be wandering off to other people's identity, other people's lives, trying to duplicate, clone, and mimic them and copy this and copy that. That shows that you're just a wanderer. You don't know you. Who are you? You know what I mean? We have the Ace of Wands. This pursuit that this person has been on is never gonna die off. Like, they'll forever want to attain your level of identity, your level of being, your level of self-knowing. They'll forever be on that conquest. It's a never-ending journey. It'll be always burning within them, and it'll forever be something that is just delusional. But they're okay with that. I do see that this person is okay with being delusional, but time, the days go by, the months, the years, and man, it's your life at the end of the day. It's their life. I mean, okay, if that's how you choose to utilize your time on earth, hey man, you know? I'm being called to end this message here. This was your message from God, Ra, Allah, Source, the Divine. I'm grateful for your time and I thank you so much for joining me on the Prophetic Vessel Show. To those whom are keen or interested in becoming members of my Patreon, on my Patreon, I do offer weekly sign readings for $10 per month based on love as well as spiritual path. I also offer on my Patreon personal readings. For $50 per month, you get a personal reading from me every month based on love, spiritual path, career and finances, as well as ancestral messages. The link to my Patreon will be listed in my description box below. You can also join my Patreon by typing what is on the screen via Google, search it, and it'll lead you to my Patreon website. I thank you all for everything, and I will see you all soon. Goodbye.